One of the most common questions that we often get in our chat, in our FAQ, in our PM is always, "Hi OOKAS, I'm using this standard AC1200 stock router by TM. This is a DIR-868L model, okay? But I'm tired with this performance. I'm on a 500 Mbps plan, 300 Mbps plan, and this router doesn't seem to be able to support in terms of both bandwidth and coverage. Now, what kind of options do I have? I don't have a big budget either." Well, this video, we made it for you. We're gonna introduce you the best price to performance ratio router that you can ever imagine. Ready? So here we go. And this is the router that we're gonna introduce to you today. Now, the biggest difference between these both is in terms of AC. DIR-868L, which is the one that we are holding on my right hand, is actually an AC1750 model. In other words, it can actually support more than up to 500 Mbps speed on its 5G connection, whereby this is maximum 300 Mbps speed. Now, why do we say this model is the best price to performance ratio? Many of you, if you are a very budget conscious person, you've probably heard of Tenda AC18. Now, Tenda AC18 is less than 300 ringgit. What if I tell you that you can get similar spec? Okay, similar spec, probably slightly lower than Tenda AC18, but at only 100 ringgit. You know, so that's why if you're a price to performance ratio guy and you just want to have a router that can, that gives you a standard speed and doesn't have a lot of fancy features like MU-MIMO, seamless roaming, all these things, then this router is good for you. Now, let's look at the standard specification. It comes with a USB 3 WPS button, 4 gigabit LAN ports, 1 WAN port, power button, and of course, the power outlet. Now, it only has two indications, the power button and also this one connection, LED. It doesn't have a lot of LED, so this is basic feature, and it comes in a cylinder shape. Okay, so this is personal preference, but all in all, if you're just looking for a standard performing router, then this device is for you. It's only cost less than probably around 100 ringgit as of now, as of the shooting date. Now, with that being said, it doesn't mean that it comes without drawbacks. One, like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't have MU-MIMO. It doesn't have a lot of Wi-Fi app configuration kind of thing, which is quite popular now. But hey, at the price of 100 ringgit, this is something that you cannot argue, because it's the best price to performance ratio. Also, one good thing about this is that on the internet, there's a lot of good reviews in terms of firmware. It is very stable, just that the firmware might be a little bit dated compared to all the app interface that you are seeing now. So you have to keep that on your mind if you're planning to purchase this model. Now, let's move on to the speed test. So we will be running the speed test in a double-story house. We will be checking both bands 2.4 and 5 GHz on their download and upload speed. Now, do take note that we are on a unified 300 Mbps plan, hence we won't be able to fully display the capacity of the router. However, it should suffice to serve as a reference to provide in terms of both coverage and performance. Now, in terms of speed test, we are getting quite the maximum speed on first floor with 5 GHz, closing to 280 Mbps when we are near the router. 2.4 GHz band is decent as it is close to 100 Mbps. However, as we move to the second floor, there isn't any 5 GHz coverage, which is kind of expected. We also observe a slight dip in 2.4 GHz coverage, but however, we are averaging around 65 Mbps for download, which is quite decent. Now, long story short, this is a budget yet performing router, albeit with dated firmware interface, because you won't be able to find any AC1750 router that can support 500 Mbps plan with around 100 ringgit. So if you are the kind of person that just wants a router that works without any fancy interface, then this is the router for you. So that's it for now guys, and I'll see you guys next time.